times like this, people tend to panic. So what I wanted to do is take the time to talk to you and just say, let's take a minute. Let's be calm. Let's stay calm in a chaotic world, because in doing so, we can continue to protect ourselves and to even prosper. Good morning, Gen X fam, and all those who want to learn from our wisdom. It's been a minute. I was out sick for a while, but I'm back, baby. In the time since we last spoke, a lot has happened on the world stage, and unless you've been living under a penguin in Antarctica, you know that the world probably seems like it's on fire everywhere right now. You turn on the news and all you see is, of course, the latest headline about this war in the Middle East, which is affecting things globally. It is causing stock markets to react like crazy. It's causing oil prices to go up, and which in turn cause gas prices to go up. That hits your bottom line in your household directly. Next, it's going to cause food, everything that we consume to go up, because everything has to be produced at one point and then transported to you. So that cost is passed on to you, and this is your gift. So you may feel that I just don't even know what to do. At times like this, people tend to panic. So what I wanted to do is take the time to talk to you and just say, let's take a minute. Let's be calm. Let's stay calm in a chaotic world, because in doing so, we can continue to protect ourselves and to even prosper. You know, ever since the beginning of time, there have been wars, there's been recessions, there's been upheavals, pandemics, everything one after another. But still, through all of that, people still build businesses, they invest, they create wealth, and they get ahead. On the other hand, some people tend to panic during those times and they lose. Now, what's the difference between the two groups? The difference is this, very plainly. One has a plan and sticks to the plan, while the other group has no plan because they've just been playing it by ear forever. And they follow the herd, and when the herd panics and stampedes, they go running this way with the herd, and then the herd jerks around and comes back and comes running this way, and they go running with the herd again. And so they never get anywhere. They're always buying high and selling low. They're always too late to the party. They're a day late and a dollar short for everything that they should be doing, because there's no consistency due to the fact that they have no plan. Wealthy, successful people always have a plan, and no matter what, they stick to it. So your cure, your safety net during this chaotic time is to have a plan and a set of principles that you stick to that are going to guide you no matter what, so that you don't end up making a panic decision at the wrong time and end up costing yourself thousands, potentially even millions of dollars. So what I wanted to do was take the time today to share with you 5 things, 5 principles that you can follow that will help you to keep your mind straight, your eyes focused, and your financial ship on course so that you don't face shipwreck in a chaotic storm of madness that is swirling all around us. So, number 1, this is the principle I want you to keep in mind. Control what you can control. That's first up. You know, there's that old saying that says, I believe it goes, Lord, give me the wisdom to accept the things that I can't control, to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Here's where you need to put that into full effect. So, here's what you can't control. You can't control what somebody decides when he wakes up in the morning, looks in his bowl of Cheerios, and decides that he wants to start a war. You can't control what another country does. You can't control what a corporation decides to do. You can't control what terrorist organizations decide that they want to do. You can't control whether a disease decides to have an outbreak and sweep across your community or the globe. These are things you cannot control. So it does you no good to obsess over them, panic over them. Here's what you can control. While you can't control what happens in the world economy, you can control how you prepare for and react to things within your own economic world. So what does that look like? Well, you can control your spending, your saving, and your debt. How do you do that? Well, you control your spending, number 1, by living below your means. That is more important, more than ever right now. Number 2, you can control how much you save. You decide whether or not you want to prioritize savings. How important is it to you? Is it a non-negotiable? Do you follow my 70-10-10-10 rule where 10% comes off the top automatically and goes into your savings? This is very important because I'll tell you one thing I learned during COVID, and you probably heard me say this before, cash is king. Banks can cut off lines of credit, but they can't cut off your money that you have. So if you have a pile of cash, that pile of cash is there to help you sleep easier at night. So what are you doing to prioritize the accumulation of your cash? And number 3, you can control your debt. Like, you decide whether or not you're going to swipe that card to pay for something that you don't have the cash to pay for. That is an indulgence that you deserve because you work hard. These are things that you have complete control over. So don't try to control what nation states do. Don't try to control what corporations do. Don't try to control what the environment does. Control how you spend, how you save, and how you get yourself into and out of debt. All right, number 2. Build financial margin. We're going to pull a little bit from the first principle that we talked about, controlling what you control, on the savings part, and remind you again what I said before, cash is king. So, what are the funds that we want to focus on? We want to focus on our emergency fund. Number 1, if you have not gotten your beginner emergency fund of $1,000 going right now, you need to do that ASAP. Now, the quickest way to get there is to, number 1, cut like a madman all of your spending and create extra margin temporarily until you can funnel that cash in there. Number two, you're going to sell. Look around your house and sell everything that you don't need. Like if you haven't used it in the last year, you're not using it. So put your clothes up online for sale. Put the lawnmower up that you're not using for sale. All those old gadgets and toys that you don't mess with anymore, put them up for sale. You can raise several $100s doing that. Number three, get yourself some extra cash. That means working overtime, grabbing a second job, delivering pizzas, or driving rideshare, or capitalizing on a skill that you have that you can use to help others get what they want. And in so doing, they will gladly pay you in return for the value that you deliver to them. Within 30 days' time, using these three methods, you can easily have $1,000 in hand or more. So that takes care of your emergency fund. The next thing you want to do is have your sinking fund. You don't want planned expenses to become sudden emergencies. You know when things are coming. You know when insurance bills are coming. You know when celebrations are coming that you might want to give a gift for. You know when expenses for maintenance are coming due on the car, etc., and so on. If so, create a sinking fund and then divide the number of months into the amount that it is, and that tells you how much you need to set aside each month in order to have the money when that time comes. So that you don't create manufactured emergencies. Rather, you prepare ahead of time to meet these expenses, these legitimate expenses, when they do come due. Third thing, avoid making panic decisions. So many of you, if you were around during the 2008 financial crisis, a lot of people at that time saw the stock market going south with the housing market, and they even saw their house value plummet. So they decided, you know what? I don't want to pay the mortgage on my house anymore because all of a sudden the bank decided that my house is worth less today than it was yesterday, even though I still have the same roof over my head. I still have the same number of rooms. I still have the same furniture in here. I still have warmth, light, all of that good stuff. A place to lay my head every night. But you know what? I just don't want to do this anymore, so I'm going to sell my house at a loss and get out. Other people were like, oh, my stocks are tumbling. I'm going to sell and get out of the market right now and just hoard the cash. How did those people make out? Those people still have not recovered. Contrast that with the people who stayed the course. They stayed in their houses and they stayed in the market. Those people experienced incredible gains over the next decade because the housing market recovered, the stock market boomed, and things just took off like a rocket because they didn't sell and lock in their losses. When you panic sell during chaotic times, you realize your losses. It's done. It's locked in. But if you don't sell, if you just keep the course, you haven't really had any losses. The value of what you have may temporarily go down, but you're not realizing any real losses until you actually sell, take your money off the table, and now you have less of a pile of cash than you had before you made that panic decision. So my advice to you is stay where you are in your home. Don't panic sell if the housing market takes a tumble. We don't know what the future is going to bring. Things could get real crazy. The stock market is going up and down. That's going to continue to be a thing. Don't panic and sell, because once you do, you lock in your losses. What I would advise you to do is continue your regular program of monthly investing like I always tell you to. And that way, you will dollar cost average your expenses and you actually be buying the stock market at a discount right now. So that when the time comes that it does recover, because all crises pass. I can't believe I said that. And they get better. So when this passes, this too shall pass, you will be better off on the other side. And you'll be one of those small group of people who build wealth during this crisis rather than take their wealth and light it on fire and toss it out the window as they drive down the highway of life screaming in panic. All right, number 4, limit the noise. You can turn on the TV right now and you can find all kinds of news reports on bombs dropping on targets, on missiles flying back from Iran, on countries being shut down due to travel restrictions and things like that because it's too dangerous to fly. You can listen to the pundits talk on TV about, oh my God, what if there's going to be a terrorist attack in this country? And they want to keep you on edge because they know fear sells and they want to keep you coming back. The problem with that is it has a toxic effect on you. It causes you to freeze like a deer in headlights and get to the point where you can't even make decisions. So then when you need to make the right decision, you freeze and you miss out on opportunities. And when you need to stay steady, you panic and you make bad decisions in low points and you end up doing yourself irreparable lifetime harm. Don't make everlasting decisions due to temporary circumstances. This war is temporary. As bad as World War II was, it was temporary. It didn't last forever. And afterwards, the world experienced an economic boom. So stay calm, ride this out, avoid the panic decisions. Also, don't make any panic moves thinking that you need to jump on hot opportunities now that seem hot because your Uncle Carl or your cousin Ben said, oh, this is a hot opportunity, you better jump on it. Don't do that. That's a panic move disguised because you'll end up regretting it later on. Continue to be calm, make rational, intelligent, informed, intentional decisions, and you will avoid the panic bug that is beginning to grip so many people. All right, number 5, continue to focus on your long-term strategy. That means maintaining consistency in what you do from day to day. Now, the only way you can maintain consistency in what you do from day to day is to have a plan. That's what I always preach. Have a plan. My smart students, my smart money management system is a plan. It's a system for managing your money no matter what. You know that come what may, you are going to do a certain set of things with your money from month to month, and it's not subject to what the world outside is doing. It doesn't matter if the wind is beating against your window. It doesn't matter if bombs are dropping over here. What matters is I have my plan. I'm continuing to work my plan. My plan has been proven to work over decades of time. These principles are timeless. And so why now do I need to reinvent the wheel and do myself irreversible harm? So stay focused, stick to your plan, continue to keep your spending in line, keep saving, keep investing, keep paying down debt, and keep managing your credit wisely. And always, always be conscious of what you can control and what you cannot. and focus solely on the things you can control. I promise you will have a much better life. Now, if you found nuggets in here that you can benefit from, then please drop your appreciation with a like, share a comment on how you've been dealing with things recently, on what you may have found helpful in here, and even more so, if you know somebody else who may be panicking at this time and can use a steady hand, a guiding set of principles to keep them steady in these critical times, please share this video with them. Don't keep it all to yourself. Give, share, help somebody else out. And if you would like to benefit more from these principles and the guidance that I give my students to using my Smart Money program and my Money Hero Academy, which meets regularly, and you'd like more information, please schedule time with me at my website. You'll see the link there at the top to schedule time with me, and you too can keep calm in chaotic times and come out of the other side of this more prosperous than the vast majority of people who will continue to freak out and lose more and more money day by day. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Have a great day, and I will see you again soon.